If you come on one of the friends' bug hunts, or you go bug hunting or tree beating or sweep netting or anything like that by yourself on the park, you are sure to catch lots and lots of insects, and many of those will be jumping and hopping about all over the place, and it's very difficult to examine them closely. But here is a method that you might like to try for yourself. Right, let's suppose that you've been out on one of the friends' bug hunts, possibly in the grassland, or pitfall traps, or hedge beating, or something of that sort, and you've got some things to look at. Well, how can you examine them? Well, you can get them in a magnifying pot like this. This is one with the magnifying top on here, or here's another version. This has got an extra magnifier on the top. But the thing is that they are still going to be rushing about all over the place, so how can you examine them carefully and properly? Well, you can make what's called a spi-pot, and to do that you will need 2 drinking cups. I suggest you go for quite large ones, and what we're going to do, we're going to use these to make what's called a spi-pot, whereby you can look at a magnifier to look at your insect in much greater detail. Right, the first thing to do is we're going to need to have here's a piece of old polystyrene ceiling tile, and I'm going to stand the pot here on top of it like that, and I'm going to mark around the drinking cup like this. And when I've done that, here's our working surface here, I'm going to carefully cut round it using our craft scalpel. Right, here we are then. Here's our nice little disc of polystyrene. That is going to go on top of this pot here. Now we just need to make sure that this is going to be a good fit with the second drinking cup. There we are. I need to make sure that the two actually, there isn't much of a gap between the two there. Right, what we do now is we've got to glue this onto there. So for that I'm going to use our old favourite, the Pritt stick, to do that. And quickly glue around there like that, and glue that on there. Like that. Okay? Nice and firmly stuck on. Right, so here we have that one drinking cup completely intact with that stuck on. Right, we put that on one side now, and we go to the second drinking cup, and being very careful, a good idea if you have some supervision to do this, if you're a young person, we're going to very carefully cut around the top here, work our way very, very carefully round. Almost there. So now that can come off, cut that off finally. Now I've been very careful to leave the actual rim of the actual rim intact to maintain a little bit of strength. There we are. So now we've got a hollow tube. Right, what we've got to do with that now, just to quickly check, we put the two on top, that the polystyrene is nearly coming to the top. So what we do next is we take this off, and I'm going now to get some cling film and put over the top here. Right, here we go with the cling film then. I'm going to put the cling film over the top of the second pot, like that, and cut a length of it off. we do now is to pull this fairly tightly over the top of the drinking cup. So we've got like a nice smooth layer there. And then to make it so as it's held nice and tight, I'm going to put a rubber band around it. And if we do the rubber band, then you can pull down with the rubber band to tighten it off like that. Right, it's almost done there. We just quickly run round and trim off the excess cling film. And now we're ready to put the two together. So this will then go over the top there like that. And the way it works is that we will get our bug and we put the bug into there. This will then, and the polystyrene being quite soft, you can now gently squeeze this up and the bug will be held between the cling film and the polystyrene. If necessary, pull it a little bit tighter, but what will happen is the bug cannot go anywhere, and you can just apply very gentle pressure to squash it gently against that cling film. And then when you've done that, you can then use something like one of these lids, a magnifier, to inspect the bug when it's being held still. And when you've finished, you will just simply take down this and you can then release the bug. Here is just a couple of shots just to show you what it will look like.